Hey everybody, today I'm going to be doing a video response to KellyBear and showing off my top 5 tarot decks. I have them here and I'm going to go, I think, in no particular order because I can't decide which I like the best. I'm trying out some new lighting. Let me know if it helps. Let me know if you can see things better, if you can see things not as good. But anyway, enough of that. So, number 1, I'm going to go with the good old Smith-Waite. But this is the Centennial edition. And the reason I like this one better than the regular Rider-Waite decks is I love the backs. The backs are so pretty. So the first Rider-Waite deck that I had was that ugly, awful plaid back. I don't know whose design concept that was, but it was terrible, and I didn't like it, so I never connected with it. And then much later I found this one, and it's not one of my main reading decks. I happen to like it now. The backs make it a little less garish on your eyes, and the colors in this one are a little bit softer, I think. That's the full. These are all shuffled, so I think the color's a little softer, and the font is different also than the other Rider-Waite decks, and I like the font on this one a lot better. Let me see if I can find some that are like the Tower. I don't know, I like the softer, muted colors in this one. So that's going to be number 1 in my no particular order deck. Favorites. Get that in there without busting up any cards. Okay. Or not. Alright, we'll do that later. Alright, so number 2. This is a bag that I made for my Wild Unknown Tarot. This was one of the first decks I got that, like, when I started kind of collecting. And I love the artwork on this deck. If you have not seen this, I urge you to go online and look at all of the cards. There's no peep ball. They're all animals. It's the Lovers. Son of Pentacles. And the artwork is just so good. I wouldn't say it's a Rider-Waite clone, but there's definitely some elements of that in here. Not necessarily, like I said, a clone, but there's definitely little nods to it here and there. Let's see if I can find something else that I really, really like. 8 of Swords. Normally you have a woman bound. Here you have, a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis. It's kind of cool. Kind of like gives you those little hints that you might, if you need them. I like that. A lot of it is in black and white. There's little bits of color. This is the only one of this, or version of this deck I have ever owned. So I believe this is the 2nd edition. I don't know if what the differences are between the other decks, or the other versions of this deck, but I like this one. I guess if you don't know anything different, you just kind of go with it. So that's the Wild Unknown Tarot. It's a pretty popular deck. A lot of people, a lot of people have it, and it's a good reason. There's a good reason. The next deck I'm going to show you is my trusty dusty Angel Tarot. There's the back on there. This is the very first tarot deck I ever bought. I did not edge this in antique coloring because it is actually that old that it is browned on its own. You can see it's kind of like warped a little bit because I've had this for over 20 years. The first one I learned on. It's in order, so I'm not going to take it out of order because I'm doing a study of them. And actually, those lessons will be posted online as soon as I get around to doing it. But we're up to the Lovers now, so this I'll show a little bit. It's the Hierophant. This deck is very cool, and I think I picked it for my first deck. It's not what I would call a beginner's deck, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just kind of went to the store with my first paycheck and was like, I'm going to buy a tarot deck. This one's really cool because the different suits are different cultures. So the wands are like Indian, Kali, Brahma. You've got the cups are European, so when you get to the court cards, you see Brigid and Parzival, a Venus of Willendorf, and Odin. And then you've got, for the swords, it's Egyptian, so you have Isis and Osiris and Nut. Those are my favorites. And Ra. Those are all Egyptian. And then for the stones, which is the pentacles, you have the Native Americans, so the White Buffalo Woman, Chief Seattle. I'm trying to do these. I have so much stuff in front of me. The Spider Woman, and the Old Man as the Father of Swords. So very cool nods to different cultures, and I think that's why I picked it up. I think that's why I liked it so much, and it's been, up until the last couple of months, it's been my only deck that I've ever used. So that's the Handel Tarot, and that's number 3 in my no particular order. And then number 4, we'll do the Tabula Mundi. I just got this, but instantly I'm already in love with it. I showed a walkthrough of it, so there's the backs. They're nice and holographic, which, you know, we all love that. And then the cards is a Thoth-based tarot system. The cards are very bright and very illustrated. I don't know. I'm not usually drawn to the more, I want to say like modern drawn, or, you know, they have, let's see if I can find an example of more modern things in them. But this one I really dug. Like here, 4 of Wands, got some rulers in it. Not that that's necessarily modern, but I don't know, I like to be taken out of time when I do it. And I just, the cards just, they're so striking. Here's the full. So, Tabula Mundi, number 4 in my top 5 tarot decks. It's another bag I made for them. Keep them nice and... I throw these in my bag. They're with me all the time, so I can keep them nice and protected. And then the last one is the Darkness of Light Tarot. This has become... I do most of my readings for clients. I do most of my readings for, you know, just other people, friends and family, that kind of thing with this deck. This is definitely a Rider-Waite, I would say a clone. It's pretty darn close to everything, but the images are softer. There's also a walkthrough in my videos for this. The images are softer. The cards are just gorgeous. Little hints of color, also black and white, little hints of color here and there. I really like black and white decks, I don't know why. The Star, one of my favorites. Versions of this card. Ace of Wands. I use this deck pretty much every day. It's already, like, I edged it and it's already getting worn. The corners are already, you know, budging, and I don't mind that. I like having a nice worn-in feel. But anyway, so that was my video response to KellyBear, my top 5 favorite tarot decks. No particular order. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube jazz. I love to hear from you guys, and I'd like to hear from you if you have an idea for a video. I got a nice big list of stuff I'm going to get going through. Like I said, I'm going to start those handle lessons very soon, so hopefully those will turn out okay. And yeah, everybody have a great night.